Hey, welcome back. It's Randy Hatada here at Expand Realty, bringing you your new January 2026 market update. And the real question is what's going on with Las Vegas and what's happened during the last year of 2025. So here I am with some notes, and I'd like to get you updated so we can start the new year running, right? And I'm sure everyone's looking forward to 2026, and so are we. So here we go. It is right now 50 degrees. It's in the morning, and our weather has been really nice, ranging between the low 40s to the high 60s. So very comfortable, really sunny in the days, but kind of weird because it's still cold and very cold at night. So wear your jackets. I don't know. I'd say that Las Vegas has been overall a very pleasant weather climate in 2025 and very mild. You know, we didn't have those major spikes for the really, really hot and the really, really cold. So we're pretty spoiled here in Las Vegas. I'd also like to start by thanking you guys again for voting us into Best of Las Vegas for our Expand Realty in multiple categories. And also congratulations to our luxury team, the Conforti and Olsen team, for also getting voted into multiple categories in the luxury field of real estate. And again, this is for Best of Las Vegas. So thank you guys. We couldn't do that without you. You know, with all of that, that was a really nice way to wrap up 2025. And we're going to focus on the numbers from 2025, but how it's going to affect us in 2026. So, well, I'm going to share and just hit you with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, you know, good and bad is very subjective, depending on which side of the fence you're on. So let's go through all the information, and I'm not going to call it good or bad. I'm just going to call it information for you to understand. Starting with 2025 has now been recorded as our slowest real estate market in sales volume since 2007, almost 20 years. So we're coming out of a very slow market as far as sales and transactions, and that equates to also rental properties. So in general, real estate has been slow. Now, there are, again, good and bads about everything, and we're going to go through them one by one. Let's start with the numbers, and then let's go into the summary of what's happening. So this December, surprisingly enough, our units sold actually went up from November, and we hit 1,800 sales in December, and that's up about 264 sales from November to December, and only down 0.5% from 2024. So it's a slow market. The last two markets have been slow market between 2024 and 2025, but it's not gloom and doom as a lot of you may think or what the news has been putting out. So that's a fact. Our median price has actually gone down by quite a bit though. Even though our sales went up, our median sales price has come down, and we're at $470,000, and that's almost $20,000 from November to December. And I think the reason for that is a lot of our affordable housing has been moving this December, and we'll kind of get into the summary on why that's happening. That's only down, 470,000 is only down 1% from 2024 to 2025. So not a lot of movement there. New listings has actually also gone down, which is probably a good thing to, head into a healthier market. And new listings got recorded at 1,890 new listings, and that's down about 300 listings from November, which is a good thing. Our median ask price, what our sellers asking, has reduced about $5,000 to the round number of $500,000. So sellers are asking on median level $500,000, and they're getting from a median price point $470,000. So that's something to also think about. So for units available, there are 6,400 units available. That is down 640 units from November to December, which is a good thing. Again, approaching a much healthier, balanced market. And, That's a big number change year over year though. It is up almost 30% from 2024 to 2025. So we still have a lot of inventory on the market, but not as bad or not as much as there is from November to December. Our effective availability or month supply, one of the most important numbers that we'd like to go over, has actually dropped a lot. This is the number to focus on, guys. It has dropped to 3.5 months supply, and that's a 1.1 month supply drop. It's a huge drop and something to really talk about in our summary, because we are heading towards a much more balanced market. And how does that affect you as a seller? How does it affect you as a buyer? How does that affect you as a landlord or as a resident? Those are the questions, right? And this number is going to really move the needle when it comes to that summary. So these are all in relation to single family residence, houses, if you may. And the second half of the spectrum is condos and townhomes. So units sold in condos and townhomes are 460 units sold. That's up 80 units from November to December. So condos and townhomes and single families have all picked up in sales volume this December. Go figure. That's Las Vegas for you. Very different from the rest of the country. As far as our median price point, which is also a really important number, we're at $275,000. And that's a big difference because that's a dip of almost $30,000 from November to December. So I think a lot of negotiations are taking place right now, especially this December. And a lot of sellers are settling for less, and a lot of buyers are offering for less, and a lot of deals are getting made. And that's why our unit sold has gone up and our median price has gone down. Again, we're at $275,000. And year over year, that's a negative 5% change. So not too much change year over year, but again, huge change month over month. And that's December for you, right? As far as new listings, that also went down, similar to the single family market. We're at 586 listings in December. That's down 132 listings and down about 3% year over year. So it seems like we're getting close to the 2024 numbers and getting closer direction-wise. Again, everything is pointing to a more balanced, healthier market. As far as median price point, no change there. Our asking price for median price points, condos, townhomes, are $280,000. And that's down about 7% from year over year, from 2024 to 2025. Units available are at 2,300 units available. That's down almost 300 units, again approaching a healthier market, but it's still up 30% year over year, and that's pretty parallel with the single family market. So units available are up in 2025 versus 2024 by 30%. Back to effective availability or month supply. It has also gone in the downwards direction, favoring a more balanced market. And we're at 5.1 months supply. That makes me feel a lot better. It flows a little better saying that, because we were at a 6.9 supply of inventory in November, which is astronomically high for the condo townhome market. And we've come down a 1.8 month supply, or effective availability, excuse me. And what that means is that either listings have been removed, withdrawn, expired, turned into rentals, which maybe accidental landlords, or came from the rental pool, affecting the rental supply, or they've changed into sales, but it can't have all change into sales because we only had 460 sales, which is only up 80 sales month over month. So again, summary for our effective availability is a 5.1 supply of inventory, and that's up about 33% year over year. So there's your stats. That's the data. And now let's get into the important part, which is what does that mean and where are we headed, right? That's what you guys are all here for. One positive thing I think that favors both buyers and sellers, maybe not tenants, is the fact that interest rates have been dipping. Whether I'm not going to get into the reason that's happening, but the fact is that interest rates are going down. And from a macro economy, I know Powell was removed from his position, but we're really excited that interest rates are right into the low sixes for a 30-year fixed conventional loan. And that's going to be between 6.15 to 6.2% interest rate. And if you want to dip into the sub sixes buyers, you can do that. And you can do that without interest rate buy downs or, concessions from sellers for buy downs by simply doing a 15-year loan versus a 30-year. And those interest rates will dip you into the high fives. So if you want to get into the 5% interest rates, talk to your lender about getting a 15-year mortgage, which means that you're going to pay your mortgage off in 15 years versus 30 should you hold it for that period of time. So very, very exciting for our entire market, our entire nation. Well, let's continue with our summary of Las Vegas and real estate, local real estate. And as we know, let's summarize 2025. The market has shifted towards a buyer's market. It's been that way for a few years now, but 2025 has really been a buyer's year as far as negotiations are considered and the ability to have leverage based on the high inventory, right? But the irony is that even though it was a buyer's market, we had slow sales, meaning that buyers have not committed to buying, right? We don't have that buyer confidence yet. And I think with interest rates going in that direction, that's going to start back up this 2026. In fact, we already see it with our current listings. We see more viewings this January, and it's mid-January. We already see more viewings. I've already seen more escrows and transactions being done. And the positive thing is we've also seen less cancellations. The third quarter of last year, we've seen up to 20% cancellation rate. So, that just gives you some insight about consumer confidence for buyers. And, that could be for many reasons, such as repair negotiations, financing issues, economic or job concerns or factors that determine cancellations due to income. So there's been a lot of cancellations, and I think that we're going to see less of that this year. And again, it was a buyer's market, and it's still a buyer's market because inventory has been up a lot, right? We've been up, as we discussed, 30% year over year. So we have been at the highest inventory we've been in a very long time. And again, 30% more than 2024. So that was your 2025 inventory summary. As far as pricing has been volatile in 2025, and we've seen a lot of spikes up and down. But in general, it's been I say volatile, meaning that it's been going up and down, but the general figure has been pretty stable, which is good to hear, right? We didn't see any major appreciation. We didn't see any major dips overall, right? We're averaging between 470,000 to 500,000 median price point. And we've been seeing drastic dips between the months, but as a year, not a lot of movement, right? Because we've only seen a 1% change year over year at 470,000 median price point. So although our every monthly report we've seen up and down since last year January, our overall 2025 market has been surprisingly stable, even with the high inventory and low sales. So what does this mean to you guys, right? Depending on what side of the fence you're on, that means buyers, your opportunity or window may be shrinking. It may be closing. Your leverage is getting less as inventory shrinks. So buyers, start engaging your lenders, talk to your buyer agents, and really figure out when's the good timing for you to start offering, shopping, and negotiating, because right now it is still for sure a buyer's market. How long is that gonna last is the question. And is it going to last? Or is it going to continue to go back to where we were with higher inventory, right? That is the major question. Now, one thing that has really played into inventory is who's buying all these properties, right? The contrarians. And the irony to this is that the smart money or institutional money is responsible for over 20% of 2025's sales. What does that mean? That means corporate America is buying 1/4, 23% of all of the sales that's going on. The smart money is in our market right now, even in a high potentially volatile potentially market. So think about where these large institutional funds are going. They're going into Las Vegas and they're buying in a contrarian market where consumer confidence is low. So something to consider, buyers and sellers, right? Where's these big monies going, right? And that includes REITs, hedge funds, large corporations, Wall Street money. They're buying residential property here in Las Vegas, even in this high market. They're just really negotiating. I've also seen a lot of major sales trading silently, where a lot of the large corporations that have bought properties and turned them into rentals have sold off a good portion last year, but I think it just traded hands to another one. So it doesn't really move the needle for us average consumers. But institutional monies have played a big part in our market overall. And to go back in a little history, these institutional monies have continued to buy since 2010, our foreclosure days. We've been number one in residential investment for these large funds for a very long time. And that is what really has affected inventory. It has affected, really, because of inventory, our price raising and appreciating the way it has. And what are they gonna do next, right? But it seems like they're gonna hold because they are making very high cap rates or cash flow, return on investment margins. So they're gonna probably hold until they have a better investment to place that money in. And being that we're in a pretty safe, or let's reverse the word safe, in a pretty stabilized market here in Las Vegas with strong upside, I think they're gonna hold longer, just like I am with my personal portfolio as well. And also that is what I'm advising my current investors who are asking me what they should do for the long-term investment play. My advice is to hold and to endure these slow rental times. Reduce the rent if you need to get a better qualified tenant, or retain your current tenant without giving away the bank, and maintain, because I think our market's going to continue to go up as our population grows, which is going to be one of the next things that we're talking about. We already talked about the slower sales. How long is that going to be? No one knows that, but all of these factors contribute into where we're going this 2026. And it's going to be very interesting as things spark up this January. New residents, again, I said we would talk about that. In 2023 to 2024, we had 45,000 new residents or new people becoming residents here in Las Vegas. Huge number, right? Making us one of the top states for increasing population, right? Increasing population. So again, 2023 to 2024, we had 45,000 new residents, increasing our population by that amount. We have not gathered the statistics yet, so I can't give you the exact number that happened in 2025. But according to U-Haul and according to United Van Company, Las Vegas is number one in van rentals or U-Haul rentals coming to Las Vegas. So it just tells me that Las Vegas is still the place to move to, with not as much people moving out of Las Vegas. And U-Haul, there's a whole article from U-Haul and United Van talking about how much influx of their vans or U-Haul equipment has been moving into Las Vegas and not so much moving out. So that's a stat we try to track. But the population increase in 2025 is going to be anywhere between 30 to, I would say, 45,000 people. And, just going into a little bit of history, just remember in the past, we've seen almost 40,000 people from California alone moving to Las Vegas, which is why that state alone, California, has been the major common denominator on why Las Vegas pricing has been going up. It's basically due to demand. And my whole consensus on that is, if all these people are continuing to come and we're somewhere in the 40,000 population increase in 2025, and our sales volume has been as low as 2007, what have all these people been doing? They haven't been buying, they haven't been renting. We know that from our rental stats. So where are all of you? And when are you going to commit to something long term? Because you're going to have to, right? You have to live somewhere. And I've said this throughout 2025, it's not sustainable to stay on families' third bedroom, friends' couches, hotels, Airbnbs. It's just not convenient for your long-term lifestyle, right? So I think there's going to be a snowball. The question is when all of these new Las Vegans have to commit to something long-term, regardless if it's a rental or a purchase. So I am personally expecting that. And what spark is gonna give them confidence to make these decisions? And as we decrease in interest rates, to me, that's the biggest spark that's going to make that change, right? Well, that's my opinion, educated opinion. And why are people from California moving to Las Vegas, or from all over the country or world moving to Las Vegas? Sure, no state income tax has a lot to do with it. Jobs have a lot to do with it. Opportunity has a lot to do with it. Cost of living, I think, is the biggest factor that has to do with it. New beginnings, entertainment, great weather, all those things factor into why people are moving here. And I'm noticing the people that are moving here are coming from large cities. So when I say California, it's mainly LA, San Francisco, the larger cities. And then we're also seeing them from Seattle, Hawaii, New York, coming to Las Vegas. And again, a lot of our new Las Vegans are coming from very expensive cities and very high cost of living areas. And it makes sense. And a lot of the new people here have the ability to work remotely. That, I think, is a huge key as well. And that's another piece of our summary, is that as technology grows here in Las Vegas, and the technology industry grows, and as people are allowed to work remotely since the COVID era, Las Vegas has been a go-to place for people to double dip and take advantage of the jobs they had with high pay, with the lower price of living. Kind of a no-brainer, right? And they can always go back and visit wherever they're from, but they're living here right now, and that's a fact. I know a lot of friends, a lot of clients who have done the similar thing, and I know a lot of them that are thinking about doing it very soon. It's just when, right? So what else has happened in 2025? Well, here's the irony, is that although our median sales have been slow, our luxury market actually did the contrarian thing. It boomed. Our luxury market did really well. I can probably defer to our Conforti and Olsen team to give us some feedback on that market. But that market has been very strong, very healthy, and a lot of activity has happened. And I think it's because a lot of these sales are not dependent on mortgages or interest rates, right? And if they see opportunities in sales prices and negotiations, then these sophisticated buyers are going to buy. Or these buyers that are financially strong are going to buy when they want to buy, regardless where the market is. If they want to buy, they're going to buy. And they're going to buy what they want to buy. And they're probably going to get a good deal on it because the market was softer, right? In general. So all of that, our luxury market did really well in 2025. And of course, there's going to be different price points within our luxury market, but I'm talking as a generalized luxury market. And we'll probably have that conversation later this year. Maybe the Conforti team in our office here at Expand will be bold enough to join me on one of these podcasts, or I'll kindly tell them to help me out here, right? And give you guys some insight. But from what I've seen, this is what's happening. There's also been continued major development here in Las Vegas, which has helped to the migration of people here, or the migration of money and business to Las Vegas, right? We all know about the Raiders. That's kind of old news now. Hockey, the Knights, really old news. The A's, soon to be. The speed train, soon to be. Other developments have been the Boulevard Mall is under a major transformation and getting updated right now. There's new urban living right here in the Southwest and Southwest Summerlin area, attracting a lot of people. So there's major developments there. There's a major development coming in. What was it? I better not rattle off the wrong statistics, but there's a major master plan coming for new housing here in the West Side. And they just landed their first builder that you commonly know, and I'll save you the name for later, but their first developer bought their chunk of land and will start developing homes very soon this year. Those are the major things that has happened here in 2025. And what are we looking forward to in 2026? You know, as these developments come to life, I expect more jobs and job opportunity and job growth this 2026. There has been quite a bit of layoffs due to slow tourism in 2025. I expect tourism to grow this 2026. I know it's a bold statement, but it's my opinion. Just from, not from as much data as our economists are looking at, but just basically being a local, being in real estate, boots on the ground. I think our tourism is gonna grow, job opportunities are gonna grow, affecting our local people. And as people get more income based on jobs and the service industry tipping, I think there's going to be more sales in real estate. And with the help of interest rates, as long as we continue in this direction, heading towards the 6% mark and hopefully sub 6, I think sales are really going to increase. I think sales volume is going to increase. I think buyers are going to start buying. I think units available or inventory is going to reduce based on that. And I think we're headed towards a healthier, stabilized market. And buyers, be wary of this because, you know, I'm not telling you to buy. I'm telling you to be wary and really engage your agent and have this discussion, agent with experience that understands all of this. Because if you're not watching sales and inventory and prices, then how do you know when to buy? You'll know your side of the fence when you're comfortable, but if you want to time it with the market, you need to know and follow these trends. In my opinion, based on these trends and data, is that the opportunity may be dwindling for buyers and increasing for sellers, right? And again, if that snowball effect from all these people living in Las Vegas, new people living in Las Vegas that have to live somewhere, I think they're going to start buying, and they're also going to start renting, which if you're looking to rent a property, maybe it's better for you to rent now while rents are lower. There have been rent decreases between $100 and $300 in 2025. Lock in 1 year, 2 year terms right now, because as these properties get filled and inventory reduces, if that's what happens based on what I think is going to happen, then rents will go back up to where they were in 2023, and our landlords can't wait for that to happen, I promise you. And I know that because our management business are fielding calls from our owners about vacancy periods and rental rates all of 2023 and all of 2024, all of 2025, because they were slow markets. So if inventory goes down, demand continues to stay the same, rents will go up. So there you go. If you're looking to rent, my opinion is to start locking it in now long term, because I do think rents will go up. I do think sales will go back to going at least stabilizing and headed in the upwards direction. And I will continue to reiterate, this is contingent on help of interest rates. But if we stay where we're at 6.15, 6.2, I think what I'm saying is gonna come true. I also think investors are gonna start penetrating the market heavier. And I don't think there's nothing stopping these institutional investors, except, true or not true, a statement by Donald Trump saying that he may regulate institutional investors from buying huge chunks of inventory, affecting the market for our residential consumers. So those major macro factors, interest rates, Trump's policies, and all of that will certainly affect everything. But again, if everything is going the way it looks like it's going, I think this is what's happening. So I hope this whole podcast was beneficial to you. I hope I added value to what you were looking for in your Las Vegas life or Las Vegas interest. I'd like to end by thanking some of the people that have taken care of me over 2025. I will put a disclaimer in here that this is not a political podcast. This is not a paid podcast. This is simply me, Randy Hatada, and Expand Realty trying to add value to the world, and all the people who participate do it for free as well. But I would like to thank Crafted Wellness, Dr. Dan, for cracking me up this morning and easing up my back so I can sit here and talk to you guys for this prolonged period. And you've taken care of me for all of 2025. I'd like to thank Elliot and Company for chopping me up and giving me this hairdo. Thank you, Elliot. Appreciate it. I know I've been, you've been taking care of me for, 15 years now? So another local business doing your thing. Thank you. Thank you, BNI, for helping me throughout 2025. Refer back and forth, local business. Thank you, EO Entrepreneurs Organization, for our network and us improving our health, our business aptitude, our local knowledge, our local network. I really appreciate you guys. I thank you, Expand Realty, for supporting me, supporting the staff and the agents for supporting us as a company and coming together as a team and staying positive, pretty much drama-free. I appreciate that. Love you guys. Thank you, 5-Star Property Management, for coming together as a team and plugging away this 2025. I know 2026 will be a great year for all of us. And especially thank you guys here watching this podcast, because without you guys, none of this happens. So gratitude is always going to be our motto. We're going to lead by our core values and continue to do the right thing and add value. So please, if you could for this specific podcast, comment below. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what you want to hear about. Tell me if you appreciate this podcast. And that gives us the confidence to continue doing what we're doing. It also gives us confidence to make adjustments. Maybe we can give you more data, less data. Maybe I'm too winded for you. We take feedback as a gift, so just send them, because that allows us to make our adjustments. Thank you, Ethan, for putting this together. And thank you, Maya, for coordinating all of this. My assistant, executive assistant, whatever you want to call her. I like to call her executive assistant because that makes me feel like an executive. But gratitude is the name of the game, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We will be seeing you guys shortly. Have a great 2026. See y'all.